Are you ready to rock your next family gathering or group of friends potluck? If you are, I have the perfect recipe for you. My name is Farrell White, and today I'll be showing you how to make sopapilla cheesecake. This is a family fave, and I am sure it won't let you down. I'm going to cover 3 different parts. The first part I'm going to cover is the ingredients. The second part I'm going to cover is the process. And the last thing I'm going to cover is some unique ways that you can tweak this recipe to make it perfect for your family or friends. So, sopapilla cheesecake is actually a spin off of the sopapilla. A sopapilla is a light and fluffy dessert. It was originally documented 200 years ago in New Mexico. It's a fluffy bread with cinnamon sugar, normally glazed over with honey. This dessert is delicious. My family loves cheesecake, and so this tweak, this spin on the original sopapilla, made it even more perfect. The ingredients to make this are 2 cans of crescent rolls, 2 packages cream cheese, 1.5 cups sugar divided, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, a tablespoon of cinnamon, and a 1/2 cup of melted butter. Now that you know the ingredients, let's move right into the process. The first step of this process I originally got this recipe from a friend of mine, and she could not, for the life of her, remember where she had found the recipe. I actually was able to find the steps and process on Pillsbury.com. The first step is going to be to unroll your crescents into the bottom of your pan and pinch the seams together so that you have a flat surface in the bottom of your pan that's completely covered. The next step is going to be to take a mixing bowl, a large mixing bowl, and combine your cream cheese, your vanilla, and 1 cup of your sugar into a bowl and mix it until it's all smooth. For this step, I highly recommend using a electric mixer or a stand mixer because the cream cheese is very hard. You can also soften the cream cheese by leaving it on the counter 30 minutes so that it makes it a little bit easier to mix. But what you're looking for is essentially this: a spreadable mixture that is easy to put into your pan. The next step is to take this mixture and put it in the pan. So you'll take it and you'll put it in and you'll smear it around to where it covers the whole bottom of the pan nice and evenly. You want to cover all of your dough from the first step. Once you have all of the dough completely covered, it will pull at the dough a little bit, so make sure you're going nice and slow, making it nice and even. You do have a lot of mixture, so it should be about a 1/2 inch thick across the whole pan. Once you've gotten it all in your pan, you will move on to the next step. And the next step is essentially to repeat step 1. You take your crescent rolls, you unroll it in the pan on top of your cream cheese mixture, and you pinch all those seams together so that it's flat. I really like to make sure that I try and get this step completely level because the next part is to take your 1/2 cup of melted butter and pour over the top of the dough. If it's not completely flat, you'll have puddles of the butter. Some places won't get covered with butter because they'll be taller than others, so you really want to make sure that you have it as nice and flat as you can get it. Once the butter is on, you'll take your remaining 1/2 cup of sugar, your tablespoon of cinnamon, and you'll mix them together in a small bowl. You'll end up with something that looks kind of like this. Once you have this mixture done, you'll sprinkle it evenly over the whole pan. There is a lot of spice here, so it's okay if it layers it very thickly. Once you bake it, you won't notice that there were clumps or puddles of the butter or the cinnamon and sugar. After you have your cinnamon sugar uniformly over the top, you take your whole pan, you put it in an oven at 350 for 30 minutes. After that, you'll take it out and chill it for 2 hours or until you're ready to eat it. I love that according to connectolocal.com, sopapillas came from New Mexico, so it's a recipe that's a spin on something that originally was from the United States. My favorite way to tweak this for my family is to add either whipped topping or vanilla ice cream to the top. According to thecountrycook.net, their family uses a honey drizzle so that it's more like the original sopapillas. They also recommend using a chocolate drizzle if your family is more a fan of chocolate. My husband, on the other hand, he can't wait 2 hours for dessert, so he loves it hot and fresh right out of the oven. The next time you're going to a family gathering, just remember, this is the recipe that is a winner for everyone, and you'll be everybody's best friend if you just take sopapilla cheesecake. Thank you and have a great day.